BEERRUN, beer run. BEERRUN, beer run. All we need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. BEERRUN, beer run.
Guys, guess what day it is? Guess what day it... I hate that commercial. What are we looking at? Looking at Dale's Pale Ale from Oskar Blues Brewery. This one comes in at 6.5%. Yeah, I missed that other one by a little bit, but made me feel a little better when I looked up what some other people thought about it, and it seemed like a lot of people were stumped by the alcohol. It's a good thing. I think the alcohol should be in there, but I don't want it to taste like a bottle of rubbing alcohol or anything like that. So, little warmer here today, hovered around 16 below, and right now it's 0. Basically, the temperature and peat have something in common. You know, normally I wouldn't, bother, but, this is Ms. Boney, and, there. And it's going to go off in a second, and she's going to want to know what I want to do for dinner. Want to place any bets? Well, it's got good color. There's a chip in my glass, but I took care of that with some really fine sandpaper. It is a 6-point brewery glass, so it had to be saved. I still got to try the thing with the rubbing alcohol, the lighter fluid, the string, and a bottle. Samantha did a couple, but she didn't have the right. She had some wrong string, burned way too hot. So good carbonation. It's got some nice lofty head. Not a lot of it, but isn't it about the quality of the head? Not necessarily. Kind of smells like an IPA. Actually, this one would be a DPA, Dale's Pale Ale. Cheers. It's got some good carbonation. It is the grapefruit side of the citrus hit. It's not up there with real overpowering like some. So someone like Steve, he wouldn't totally hate it, because you kind of get it as a rush right in the very beginning, then it kind of goes away, and then you get a nice sweet like caramel. Then there's a very very, you might imply I'm not liking it. There's a dry spot in there, and then you're kind of left with a caramel and bread finish. This is another brewery that I have liked everything I've had from them. I was looking through my video, and I don't see anywhere in there that I e-scaled their Scottish ale. Oh yeah, I threw one in here. The Old Chub. Yeah. Hi, Chuck. So we'll take another look at that. Like I said, I'll probably throw it in with one of these. Should I do it now? Oh, that's good and cold. Yeah, there's kind of a floral note right up there with the citrus, but it all stays pretty smooth. I mean, like I said, some of the best damn beer I've had in a can has come from Oskar Blues. Just another place that just knows how to make some beer out there in Colorado. Yep, Colorado. What they got on here? Huge hopped. So, yeah, on the E scale, I think this is probably a nice solid 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. Treat it like this is a live feed, and everybody in the back that would like to get my E scale thoughts on the Scottish ale, just say aye. Oh, okay. If you guys insist. I mean, in theory, I didn't want to, do another whole video on this because I already have, but I did not see the E scale on it, and I thought it was very deserving of an E scale. But as long as we're standing here, I should pick something for tomorrow. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. I got one more thing from Paul at PA Brew News. So let's RJ Rockers Brewing Company, Bell Ringer. We got another unfiltered one. Bell Ringer Ale, a light gravity offering, 8.5% by volume, loaded with malton hops. This is an ale worthy of your sturdiest goblet or most trusted stein. So let's take a look at that tomorrow. And anybody that wants to stick around for the after party, which is right now, let's take another look at Oskar Blues Old Chub Scottish Ale and see what I think of it now. This one is up there, 8% by volume. And this glass has served us well, so let's just go again. Oh yeah, look at that color. Ooh, ooh, this is almost critical there, Hef, but I pulled off another successful pour. Oh, to continue picking on the douche nozzle that said that I single-handedly was just destroying the craft industry. That was actually that Abbey or whatever with the monk on there. That was something that New York Half-Ass Prepper sent me, and I noticed that that's actually available over at my new favorite place, Keyport, and on the. And now I know this isn't how a beer necessarily should be rated, but I was looking down the shelf and they had some stuff from the brewery, and you're looking at $9, $15, $20 a bottle, and that one offering that they have left from Mickler coming in at like $9 for the bottle or something like that, and then that crap that I didn't like and rated it appropriately was $2.19 or something. So just saying, like I said, the price doesn't necessarily dictate the quality of the beer. Personally, I think it's kind of it's kind of a slope. You know, I personally think some of the stuff right here in the middle is usually always okay, but sometimes like this, for the cost of it, very, very disappointed. Now, if they actually could have got an ounce of carbonation in there, I might have felt completely different about it. My head kind of went away. Must be all that talk about heavy. Yeah, it's got a really good, almost and I'm a little stuffed up. It's got a really good Scottish ale smell to it. It's just another one. This is really good for something in a can. Almost the malts and like a strong like caramel vanilla up front. That 8%, you kind of get a little bit of a warming, but you know, the other night I had one of these and gotten watching the hockey game and kind of forgot that it was sitting there for a moment, and it kind of warmed up a little bit and was just like, oh, this is another one where the flavors, there's that point, like right now it's kind of keeping the alcohol in check, but as it warms up, excuse me, not only is it when it warms up, those flavors get more pronounced in there. Unfortunately, it does take the alcohol with it, but it never really got that bad. I mean, I think that ended up going all the way to the point where I think the last bit in there was like room temperature. Almost some fruits in there, and I'm not sure that it is, but it also seems to have a little bit of that whiskey cast kind of characteristic to it. This one came in a sampler pack. It had the these three were in there. The Dales, I think it was called the Conundrum Pack. The Dales Pale Ale, the Old Chub Scottish Ale, and Mama's Little Yellow Pills. This must be the one I have not had yet. Let's just keep it like that because there's two in here and there's one in there. So there's one somewhere. So let's the Pilsner. We'll get to this sooner than later. Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice. Oh, goody. It's something earth-shattering from Pete. Oh, I was wrong. She didn't ask what we were having for dinner. She said just us for dinner. Good. Actually, that was something. You guys follow Pete on Facebook. One of their good buddies that comes into the double action where Pete works, the gun star, hit and ran their friend and his dog. Killed them both. Hit and run. They just caught the guy. Yeah, we're gonna chat for a second because the other one was, Miss Bomey. Can't ignore Miss Bomey. Wanting to know if it's just us for dinner, which now will be followed by what do you want to have? More of these. Stop and pick me up some Oskar Blues Scottish Ale. Yeah, this is, I think the bottle's upstairs. You know that one from that other brewery that I reviewed the other day? The one from Ale Smith. This is not anywhere near the Ale Smith. I mean, that was a, see, here it is. That was a an absolutely solid, that's Pete again. That's not that important. That one was all of a solid 10. This is very close though. I honestly, I'm watch. I did give it a review before, but I really like this. Unfortunately, you know that. Well, the 3-pack was on sale for $17. The 3 different brews for a total of 12, which was 4 of these, 4 of the Mama's Little Yellow Pills, and 4 of the Dave's Pale Ale, was $17. So 12 total. That's in the price range. This is all of a 9, I feel. So if I missed it and it wasn't in there, Old Chub Scottish Ale would be a 9 on the E scale. Really working HempSeedAddict on this one. You got two E scales in one. It's just a very tasty, and the 8%, how can you go wrong? Definitely a thicker mouthfeel, kind of a malty. I like that sweetness. Almost a subtle brown sugar and vanilla. There's actually a lot going on there, and the other night when I had one of these, like, I kind of had a mental note, and it was like that moment in time, that one had warmed up a little bit more, and I was trying to, pick all the things and, keep the thoughts all straight, but that's easier said than done. So, I don't think I mentioned this. So I'm out doing a project for a friend, and it's at least earned me a full tank of gas, which, with my truck, that's over $120 worth of gas. He had a maple, 2 1/4 maple living room, kitchen, and what used to be the back entry. Then he did an addition on the back of the house, so it's actually just a little breeze, kind of a walkway, goes into a bathroom, down a couple of stairs, and you can either go into the sunroom or down into the basement. And wanted me to sand all that, for gas money. My friends are going to be screwed if I ever go back to work. So start doing it. Kind of rip the first layer off. I mean, the kitchen had like a mastic glue down in there. It was actually a pretty hard residue that was left behind it. It actually sanded nicely. Anything that's like that sands nicely. The gummy bear shit is what I hate. So I get this all sanded off, and I'm like, yeah, that right in front of that sink does not look good. There's a stain 5 feet wide by almost 3 feet out in the room. But overall, there's a lot of stains, very rustic floor. Your call, man. If it was me, I'd probably go with it because I could not afford to put something over the top of it. Like, yeah, I don't really mind the way that looks. Go ahead. So I got the first pass all done and the sanding, and the wife came home and said, So an entire day of sanding and bringing all that crap in, and now it all has to go out because we're going to be putting a pre-finished floating floor, cypress, hand eased, which I'm sure it was done by a machine, but it kind of looks like a floor that was done with like scrapers instead of power machines. I was actually part of a project to do that one time. They were 12-inch wide planks, and the entire floor was hand scraped. There was no machines used. Very rustic, but it was ended up being, well, not ended up being, it was always slated to be a game room. This was in a like $1.5 million house, and this was like, the rest of us would call this a house. Just this room was a sitting area and a bar, and it had all of the head mounts and full body, like a couple of grizzly bears in there from all of his hunting trips. And then after it was all hand eased, it was waxed. And the owners of this house were, when this house was completed, they were already in their 70s. And that floor, if you've ever walked on a hand waxed floor, like, I mean, grab the ice skates. You know you're showing up at a nice house when I don't know what, I mean, you could probably put at least 10 cars in this circular driveway, and it was all heated. So as long as you get the majority of the snow off the top of it, everything else is done by the heating system. Right now I probably couldn't even afford to run the heating system. Yeah, almost a caramel, vanilla, and brown sugar almost taste to it. But well. So there you go. 2 offerings from Oskar Blues. This is some good stuff. I still think in the lineup, the 1050 is probably, if I was to put them in order, well, as of right now, the 3 that I've had, it would go 1050, the Old Chub Scottish Ale, and then the Dale's Pale Ale. But we'll find out when we finally get down to yellow Mama's Little Yellow Pills, what I think of that. Otherwise, come back tomorrow, and we'll take a look at Paul's RJ Rockers Bell Ringer, handcrafted. Every beer, every drop, every time. So that's Thursday. Just a heads up, I really think... Okay, fine, I'm going to make this interactive. Everybody that made it to this point, which is like way too many of you, I don't understand it. Friday. What am I going to look at Friday? AleSmith Speedway Stout? Or you guys want to look at the Ode de Tart Flemish style red ale aged in oak barrels from the brewery? You guys get to pick. I do this shit just for you. Yes. I know. Just remember, I'm the poor bastard that's going to have to drink all of one of these on Friday. I think I had a comment before, oh, this doesn't matter because you'll just do the other one on Saturday. Maybe, but just to prove that person wrong, I think I waited like 2 weeks before I actually reviewed the other one. Oh, it's Ms. Bomey. So, on that note, I'm out of here. You tell me which one you want me to review. Cheers, guys.